This is February 4th. It's about 33 degrees outside today, and I've got the Farmall H out here. It's a 1948 model. You might saw the last video where we did the oil change, and it's actually running okay at the moment, but it needs choke to stay running. So we're going to clean the carburetor, and we're going to get this thing cleaned out, and hopefully we can run it without the choke and it'll run just fine. Okay. So I've got a few tools. Got some needle nose pliers, which I think I'll need to take the control arm off the choke, a 1/2-inch wrench, and a couple flathead screwdrivers. And upon initial inspection, I think that's all I'm going to need. Elliot, why don't you go ahead and bring the camera in closer so we can watch the carburetor here as I fix it. So I think what we'll start with is we're just going to take this little cotter pin out of the control arm so we can take the choke lever off. Put that cotter pin back in there just so we don't lose it. Next, I'm going to take off the hose clamps for the rubber hose that attaches the breather tube. Those are loose. The hose isn't in great condition. Might replace that later, but probably not immediately. Next, I'm going to take off the fuel line using the 1/2-inch wrench. I need to get another wrench for that. There's a lot of dirt that's accumulated over the years on this carburetor. So as we move stuff around, it's all coming off. There's the fuel line off. Alright, now we're going to work over here next. So next we're going to take off, try not to make a shadow on this. Next we're going to take off what I think is the whatever contains the throttle control. It's pretty tight. These slots in the screws are full of dirt. The backside's hard to get to. It's awkward to get your hands in there in a tight spot. Alright, so that's loose. Next, we're going to get the 1/2-inch wrench and disconnect or loosen these nuts that are at the bottom of the intake manifold. Everything's kind of hard to get to. loose the nut. Alright. So here's the carburetor. I'm just going to put this nut back on the stud on the manifold. Put this other stud back in there. Alright, so we've got the carburetor off, and now we're going to take it to a... What? Huh? No, we don't zoom. We got the carburetor off now. We're going to take this to some place where it's easier to work on. I don't need to work on it by the tractor now that it's off. So we'll probably take it to the tailgate of my truck. Let's go! Okay. Alright. So this carburetor is pretty dirty, but I'm just going to go ahead and take it apart and we'll clean it up as we go. First I'll split it in half. I think what I'll do before getting too deep into this is I'm going to try and clean out the obvious dirt, put carb cleaner and air through the passages that I know about, and then put it back together and see how it runs. I don't have a carburetor rebuild kit at this time, so we'll just go for the obvious stuff and see how that works out. starved it. Carburetor tuned in, but I think whatever was blocking the passage before is now got to be out of there. Even though we didn't do a perfect job of cleaning it, I think we did good enough. It's running without a choke. So I've got some spark plugs here. They're Autolite 3116s, and these were some I just picked up at Tractor Supply Company, and I'm going to put them in the Model H here. One of the things that I knew about this tractor when I got it was that it burns a little bit of oil, and I'm kind of interested to see what these existing plugs look like when I take them out of here. These are Champions. I don't know which model yet. These are D21s. So what I didn't realize about these was these plugs are I believe interchangeable with my plugs in my John Deere B, and I think I have some hotter plugs in it, but we'll give these 3116s a try here first. And I'm not really in any hurry to do an engine rebuild on this thing. It smokes some, but not that much. It tends to smoke the most when it sits and idles for a bit. So as it is, it's in the frequency that I'll be using it, I'm not gonna be in any hurry to rebuild it, and maybe I never will. Alright, we'll see if it starts again.